Blow Deer will handle the Fox and the Falcon. Now, Tier 3 synergy, Fox and Wolf, what do you think?
Well, we saw from earlier that the Fox is definitely hampered by its attack rate. In a fight, it's just not putting out its value for food.
Well, let's see how they're gonna handle this
So
one.
the wolf should mitigate that and make it a fighting unit again.
Alright, well, let's see how things go for these teams right now. Classic Metal and Tokito on the east side of the map, while Blow Deer and Shift from Space situating themselves on the west side here. And both teams very far apart from each other. We got Tokito settled himself on the high, a double tier high ground.
It's almost a free-for-all.
Yeah, I mean, the way this map is spread out here.
So I think this map will fit for whoever decides to be aggressive, just because it's going to be hard to defend with both players one base.
Alright, well, it looks like that ball might be in Blow Deer and Chip's court then, since that has been their playstyle so far according to their last match. But it looks like both sides, neither of them doing anything corny at the moment quite yet, so they're just going to be putting down their initial warrens at the moment. Although Chip gets his at the 7 farm timing, so he's going to have his out a lot sooner. Now, his 8th farm is building now, so what's going to be the strategy here for both sides? Like, are they going to have to try to control the middle of the map? Is it going to try to focus down on one player? Take one out, focus on their side of the map?
Well, Classic and Tokito, I should have practiced before this. Tokito's base is much easily defended. So I think if they focus on, from their perspective, if they could focus on shoring up Classic Metal's side and slowly expand that way, they should be fairly well off just because they have a natural, just by the nature of the high ground and where you can, the pathing. But with Chip from Space and Blow Deer definitely need to be aggressive because they're much weaker to that, I feel. But
so we are, well, right now both sides just going with their usual timings. Blow Deer actually his Falcons out pretty darn early now, so
I feel like that's actually an aggressive build.
Very aggressive build, I'd say, yeah.
It's not a wait for long-term building Falcons. It's the once we get 2 Falcons, we can push.
Is it going to be enough though? Tokito going straight to Ferrets and Classman going straight to Skunk. So here's the interesting trade-off. Who's going to kill off each other first? Will the Skunks kill off the tier 1s and leave the Falcons exposed? Or will the Falcons be able to wreck everything first?
That certainly depends on the number of Falcons, and Blow Deer is going up to 4.
Alright, well, building up his aerial army right now. Tokito and Classic Metal just waiting for their initial tier 2s to come out. Chip from Space also getting his own Skunk at the moment too. Skunk Warren just finished building now, but it's going to take some time before the first Skunk comes out as Classic Metal and Tokito get their tier 2s out first.
Classic Metal is also going for Falcon, so it's not going to be a straight.
So they're going to have some nice tier 2 coverage from both sides here. Actually, the first shot's coming out from the Ferret.
Tokito's going Badger.
Badgers, yep, so going to get that Badger timing out very fast. Because it's on the high ground, there is no way it's going to get detected. And with the Pigeons, that's going to cause a lot of damage too. I mean, do Blow Deer and Chip have anything to defend off against Badger other than massing all their units around it?
I think Skunk does surprisingly well just because it forces you to keep moving. Badger can do that, but again, your other units aren't going to be firing while you're doing that, or they're going to be staying in the gas. So it's
Badger's a unit that thrives on moving around though, based on its ability.
No, but the rest of your army doesn't. Is the thing. It's like if you're standing still, it still gives you a slight advantage.
Ooh, I see an artillery coming out from Blow Deer here, and he's building it on the high ground next to Chip's machine gun nest, so it's going to get that extra vision here. So that top side of the map, pretty well defended, I have to say, but I don't think they're going to be going for the top side of the map.
Well, from the last Faction Frenzy, we saw that Wolf Badger was a good way to deal with artillery.
Oh yeah. I mean, in general, Wolf Badger is a strong combination. Although Classic Metal hasn't opted to go for it yet, we do see the mines going off, and it's going to scare away Chip from moving his skunks around the map.
Looks like they're going to attack Blow Deer.
Oh.
There's two.
Oh, Blow Deer. Does he know this is happening? Oh, they're actually wrapping around his own base right now. They're going to be firing at the moment. The Badger's out ready in the front lines here. Here they go. Explosive explosions happening on both sides. And it doesn't look like Blow Deer and Chip were able to come in fast enough. The Badger is doing a lot of damage at the moment. Classic Metal does lose a lot of his units, though he loses all his Falcons. He only has one skunk at play, but they're going to go after this base. Blow Deer does have an expansion on the high ground, luckily very enough. As Chip, he's going to try to attack with the skunks from the backside, but the Badger now coming back into play, having taken care of everything else. And that gun winding up right now, trying to take out as much as it can, being supported by the pigeons, and now it's going to go after Blow Deer's base.
It's just taking out all the pigs.
Oh god, this is...
Rather than going for the...
Oh no, Blow Deer is taken out immediately.
They lose the artillery off of that. That's
oh,
huge.
what an instant defeat! That Badger is a force to be reckoned with. Look at that graph. Just at that one point when that battle started, it just all went to hell.
Everyone else just went down in army value except for
Tokito and his Badger and pigeons just walking around, not caring about anything. And Classic Metal basically took the brunt of all the attacks from Blow Deer and Chip from space, which is honestly disgusting play. Disgusting Badger play coming out from Tokito.
Well, and it's also like you see the problem with their, like with trying to go defensive there. It's just like their bases were too spread out, so it's like, oh, you build an artillery on this side, I'll just attack the other one.
Oh man. And Classic Metal, he's gonna be. It looks like his role is gonna serve as a sacrificial defense for Tokito to make sure that Badger gets its damage done. And holy crap, it got its damage done by a good mile. I mean, it's really interesting because like Blow Deer and Chip from space, I think they definitely had time to build up a tier 3 of their own, but they decided to go very defensive, as you said, and it kind of didn't work out for them.
They went artillery instead of a tier 3, but what was the tier 3 he had other than artillery?
It was a Fox.
Yeah, that might have worked against Badger, but it would have been very. I think it would have been very hard to pull off.
Yeah, especially when the pigeons are falling around the Badger and the Badger is just being constantly stacked with heals.
It is a kind of counter, but it's not a brain dead counter like Falcons are for moles or just if you have them.
There's no inherent weakness that Badger has, basically. So right now we are going to be game number 2, Blow Deer and Chip from space in the north side as Classic Metal and Tokito take the south side of the map here. And once again, both sides pretty far spread out from each other, but Tokito and Classic Metal are, let's just say they're strapped for expansion choices right now.
Yes.
I mean, last game,
I
don't think
Tokito. Yeah, I'm not sure if they even expanded though.
Yeah, so it might not even matter for this map here, and there's a lot of ways around this map towards your base.
And it's very easily defended where they are, and plenty of space to build warrens.
So what's the game plan then for Blow Deer and Chip from space? Do they just need to have a better timing of their units or not play defense? Well, actually, we're going to see a Mole Rush. Going to take out one farm. Going to take out another. That's 2 farms. No, not even 2 farms. Oh, Casamel trying to come in for the assist, but no, only 1 farm taken out. So, early Mole Rush attempt by Tokito, not going to succeed. Too much.
I think players are well versed the risk and know what to do if they see it coming.
Oh yeah, LSR trying to go for the attack here, but Classic Metal has a lizard, even kills off Blow Deer, so he can't actually command a lizard. If they actually see this, they can actually kill off the lizard themselves here. Oh, okay, they just chip away. Should have been nothing quite yet. LSR coming back, Blow Deer, I mean, coming back to rescue his lizards. So, both sides just having a go at each other right now.
I mean, if you have this defensive wall of a base, it's probably worth it to go for an early aggressive play like a Mole Rush, just because you know that you can't really be punished in the same way that if you had an open, easily attack space, you could be. Setting up mines right now.
Nope.
Where's that barbed wire? That's mines.
Barbed wire? I don't see barbed wire. It's mine.
Yeah,
right?
it's just mines. Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? They took barbed wire? That's news.
You know, the commander was on top of the thing, so I just saw a red dot go up. I'm like, okay, what is that?
Are they playing against ruthless CPUs? 3 versus 1? Oh, is that mine gonna get destroyed? Oh, it gets denied just in time. It was about to finish building, but they are able to deny that one mine, and now that army is actually looking pretty meaty here. It even has a falcon with it. Bloodier already putting down 2 falcon wards now. Classic Metal trying to get his units out in time, same as Tokito trying to get his own falcon. But here we go, Toad Explosion coming on the front lines here, and Bloater actually able to dodge most of the explosions.
Tokito is not using his army to help at all.
Uh-oh. And Classic Metal in a lot of trouble right now. He loses a lot of his own warrants. Tokito trying to attack from the backlines, but there's too many squirrels, too many falcons. Bloater and Shipper's Base have found their opening.
Going in one at a time is not going to work. You didn't have much of a choice there.
This is actually game. Classic Metal can't do anything about this. He's gone. Tokito's on his own to defend, but that's it. They're going to call the GG, and what a quick game that was.
Tokito was out of position, and they attacked at a very opportune time.
Alright, Ship from Space and Bloater putting themselves on the board right there after a mistake from Classic Metal and Tokito's side. Now game number 3 is gonna it's gonna show who's gonna move on to the finals. Why are we seeing these like weird mistakes with mole rushes? I don't get it.
I mean, one, you have to keep them on the toes. If you have moles, it's always tempting to use it. 2, I think that one, we're up, we can try something silly. And finally, as I said earlier, it's really hard for them to attack my base, so I can afford to try this. If it works, we win. If it doesn't work, then okay, then we're a little bit behind, but nothing insurmountable.
But they just seem to, causation versus correlation and all that, but they just seem to lead to losses right now, which is kind of disconcerting.
Again, I don't think I put them that far behind if you look at the army value graph or the econ graph. It wasn't. And I don't think that's also what lost in the game.
Well, let's find out how people are going to lose in this game here. It's going to be game number 3 now. Classic Metal and Tokito versus Bloater and Ship from Space. It's an East versus West matchup once again here. Bloater and Ship from Space surrounded by a bit of water and high ground, while Classic Metal and Tokito have a nice little corner to themselves. Both sides actually pretty far away from expansions. Like, nothing safe for either side. And Ship has a very unfortunate spot. He's like stuck in the water with his island mostly being occupied by farm. Like, he has to build his units out very far forward. Or like ask Bloater if he can borrow some building space.
He has some place on the high ground to build.
I mean, he does, but the reinforcement time could be tricky for him to make use of. Right now, I like how Bloater and Ship are just waiting here, just in case there's a rush, and just getting their lizards warrens out. Hey, just so you know, we have lizards here now, so go away, please. But Tokito does put some mines on the high ground, so free mines on the high ground.
Yeah, if you scare them like this, then you're able to go and do
so
silly
they
things.
definitely need to use some units to find the mines. That's one mine, and they don't know the other 2. Okay. Oh, that lizard is like 1 square away from proccing the mine. Oh, well, there it is. Other mine. And Tokito and there it is. The 3rd mine now blasted off. And they're going to have to retreat for a little bit. Wait for their army to gather. In the meantime, Tokito is building up his own lizard army. Classic Metal, 3 squirrels and a toad. Ship from Space the same way as well. So both sides pretty much mirroring the other right now. I'm just going to be waiting to see what their tier 2s are going to be first. If they're going to be using them at all. So how do you think... Oh, well, actually, before I say anything about that, Tokito trying to find his way out with the Lizard. He's actually trying to find a way to the south, but Bloater is there for the defense. But Bloater has to back up a little. He's actually losing a lot of Lizard when he tried to retreat there. Shift from Space trying to offer some assistance and actually catches Tokito in the corner right now. So Tokito loses all of his units there. Classimo trying to attack the front lines with the Toads, takes out some Warrens. It isn't good enough. Bloater and Shift from Space are actually flanking Classimo's units and they actually take them all out. And Classimo can't get his Falcon out. He got supply blocked by his other units respawning there. And now the reinforcements are causing issues for both Tokito and Classimo. They're not having enough units out on the front line. Bloater and Ship are actually just rolling over these Warrens now. The Toads aren't even doing enough damage here. The Falcon slowly making its way out. It needs about 15 more seconds though. And this time, Chip and Bloater have done a lot of damage to Tokito and Classimo. Classimo especially, he lost most of his units on that high ground Warrens he put there.
An uncoordinated attack, and suddenly they're well behind.
Alright, now Bloater and Chip from Space now going to get their expansion. Bloater having successfully defended his. He's going to get double Falcon Warrens out as well. Things are not looking good for long-range battleships. Right now, the Falcons are out in play for Classimo, so he has some power to his army, but man, the balloon's even up for Bloater. At this rate, he can actually go for a very aggressive artillery. And, you know, Classimo just loses his Falcons in this ensuing fight. Bloater just mowing his way on forward. Chip supporting the backlines with his Squirrel. The Squirrels are just like lawnmowers right now, mowing down every single thing Classimo has loved. All of his Squirrels, all of his Toads now gone. The Falcons trying to reinforce, but that's it. Classimo taps out. And Tokito in a lot of trouble right now. That's going to be game. Turning it around from game number 1. The long-range battleships, unfortunately, will drop to the 3rd place match as Bloater and Chip move on to the finals.